Hi, welcome to my Friday video, and come join me over here. So, I have a very special video today because I'm with a wonderful best friend that I want to talk with my audience about. Charlotte's here too. You'll see Charlotte, the chocolate lab, running in and out, right?
Right.
So this is Renee.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
I'm so grateful that she's willing to be on this video because, as all of you know, I work in the area of loss. That people have experienced loss in life, which really is everybody. We all experience it. And we all have to find ways of healing from it and emerging and telling our story and being able to support other people when they experience loss. So I'm here and I want to tell our story.
Right.
Okay. So let's see, it was like almost 21 years ago
Yes.
when we adopted a beautiful baby boy, and we named him Eric Matthew. He'll be 21 in October. It's really important to me that we have an open adoption, which just means that you have communication with the baby's birth family. Of course, it has to be agreed upon, the adoptive family can't force it on any birth mother or birth father. But we were really lucky.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we were so lucky because Eric's birth mother, her name was Samantha, and his birth father was Joe. And Joe is Renee's son. Okay, so Renee is Eric's birth grandmother.
Yes.
And so let me tell you a little bit more, and then I'm going to let Renee talk too, because this has to do about loss in life, okay, on different levels that I want to explain. So I believe so much with my whole heart that when a birth mom and birth parents decide to place their child, not give up their child, but place their child in an adoptive family, it is the most unconditional love that you can possibly experience. And so many of you, I'm sure, are mothers and grandmothers that are listening to this, and it's just such a powerful experience. And to make that decision and to trust that your baby's going to be okay, it still makes me cry when I think about it. And I'm so grateful for Sam and Joe to make that decision. Okay, Charlotte. Okay, so Eric came to us at 3 days old. 3 days old on Halloween, I'll never forget that. And we stayed in communication. They came to visit Eric when he was a baby, and then I think he was maybe 14, 15 months when Renee and Joseph, her husband, had us to their house about 2 hours away from where we were living. And we got to meet the extended family, right? I think one of Joe's brothers was there.
Yes. It was Brian.
Brian was there, okay. And it was so powerful and amazing to really see, and meet Joseph. So as the story goes, the first thing I want to say is when you lose a child through adoption, it is a loss. It is a loss.
It is.
And I know that Renee's experienced other losses too, but I want to give you a chance if you want to say something about that feeling, like when you realized that Eric was placed with us.
Yes. Well, the story is that Mom and Dad were both in denial with this pregnancy, like they were hiding something. They were hiding the pregnancy. They both lived with Joseph and myself, his dad, and Samantha's parents lived right next door to us. And for 9 months, I kept saying, Samantha, are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? And they both would deny it. And I would rub her belly, feel the baby,
Yeah.
feel it moving. And she kept saying it was a fibrostic tumor that runs in the family. And being a birth mother myself 3 times, I knew she was pregnant.
Yeah.
And I kind of got the idea that they weren't planning on keeping it.
Mm-hmm.
It was about the last maybe 3-4 weeks
Yes.
into a pregnancy. And my mother passed away the same morning that Eric was born.
Oh.
And I came home, my husband and I, we came home, and they were going to the hospital. And they said, my 2 sons, the youngest son says, Sam and Joe's going to go have the baby.
Oh.
And right then, my heart just dropped to the floor because I knew I wasn't going to see this baby. I knew it. So it started way before the loss of this baby, our baby, your baby, started way before he was even born.
Yeah.
And they came home that night. And again, I just lost my mind.
Yes. Yes.
And we're like, where's the baby? Where's the baby? And they wouldn't even tell us that the baby had been aborted. They both were crying. The whole house was crying. And finally, 2 days later, they said that the baby had already been placed because I had asked for them to bring the baby home. But I'm so glad and so fortunate that you and your husband and your family have taken him in.
I know. But you're so brave. You're so brave. I mean, to know, like, and mothers know this. You knew that Sam was pregnant.
Yes.
And they were lying to you, and that's so hurtful and painful to go through that. And then losing your mother.
Yes.
I mean, it's just like I wonder, like, how did you get through that? Like, I mean, when you knew that Eric was with us. And I can't quite remember the time frame, but I was in communication with Sam. It wasn't a lot, but a couple letters, or maybe it was phone calls. And I know they did come. They came for Eric's first birthday to our house. That was lovely. And then I think it was shortly after that.
It was after that, and after I met you and the family, I was in so much peace.
Oh.
It really took a load off my heart to see that he was placed with such a beautiful family.
Oh.
And that's when I found out that it was an open adoption.
Yes. Yes.
And I used to question and ask about him, but Samantha was so touched.
Yeah. And sometimes I think birth moms need that. I remember getting a letter from Sam after we all met, and it was a beautiful letter. I think I saved it. I'm not sure where it is right now with all of our moves, but basically saying, I can let go now. I can let go. I know my baby's fine. And it was written out of love. I know that. But over the years, and of course, my life transitioned too. I went through a divorce. All 5 children came to a totally different state. So all of this was back in Ohio, which is where Renee and Joseph live. And we're filming here in Vermont at this beautiful forest. And I was going through a lot of change, of course, being a single mom, 5 children. Eric was still very young, in preschool at that time. He barely, not quite sure he remembers a lot about Ohio even, he was so young. And something else happened after I got settled. I think it was about 1.5 to 2 years after I got settled in Vermont. I think Eric was maybe at that point in 1st grade.
Yes.
But Sam contacted me. and told me some really awful, awful news of another loss that just still
Resonates.
very, very hard.
Yes.
Do you want to say anything or?
Yes, we lost Eric's biological father in 2008 from a very hideous kidney disease. And we knew Dad his father was sick several years prior. Matter of fact, he was ill when Eric was born.
Really? Oh.
And he was in denial, and he wouldn't seek any medical help.
Oh.
And it was the last thing that he did for me. That he said, Mom, I know I'm dying, but I'm not going to the hospital, doctors, anything, but I will do it for you, Mom.
Oh.
I'll do it for you, Mom. I'm not doing it for anyone else. And one thing that kept me going was knowing that Derek was placed with you and your family. This is now my family.
Yes, absolutely.
This is my family as well. And having his two younger siblings.
Yes.
Mom was not in a position to raise these two babies that she had left with us. And it gave us so much joy knowing that there were 3 children.
Yeah, that's incredible. And well, when I heard that Joe had died, I mean, I just was really sick because I had always had some hope that, Eric would get to meet his birth father someday. And Joe, I will say, was amazing. And I'm trying to get Charlotte to behave here. But Joe was 24 when Eric was born.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. And
Samantha was 22, 21.
yeah, and I think I remember that too. And so to just paint this portrait, my 2 older sons, Christopher was 13, Ben would have been 10 because they're 10 years apart, and they just loved Joe. There were times, I said this last night, times when I thought my older boys wanted Renee and Joseph to adopt them.
Yes, you did say that.
Because they just loved Joe's family so much. And
we loved them.
it was so great. I mean, Joe was he was a risk taker. He was bold. He was amazing.
He was.
Which tells me a lot about Eric.
Yes. Yes.
That's how Eric is.
Yes.
But it is, I just felt so bad for you and for Joseph to lose a child, to lose a grandchild to adopt. And so what Renee has just pointed out too, so Samantha and Joe had 2 more children after Eric was born, and they did parent those children. They were very young. And I'll just, there's a lot of Josephs here, so I'll call the younger Joseph Jojo, is that okay? Jojo. So they had Jojo about 3 years younger than Eric?
3 years.
3 years younger. And then Amina, who's so beautiful, a daughter who's 2 years younger than Joe. Okay.
Yes.
So I was amazed. And I don't even think, I think it was more years went by when Sam communicated, I think when she was making the decision that you and Joseph would parent her 2 children. And so I had communication with her then, and it was after that we began, right? After communicating on Facebook or something?
On Facebook, there were some times, some years that had lapsed.
Yes, there were.
I'm still grieving, and I feel so guilty.
Oh, no,
guilt,
don't.
No, let
yes,
me explain.
you can express that, though.
The guilt.
Yes.
Because I knew I had this other grandchild out there.
Oh.
But I guess from the guilt and the shame and the embarrassment that I couldn't make that connection.
Oh, yeah. And that's, you're so honest and so vulnerable in that way. this is why I love you. This is why I love her.
I love you too.
I mean, you express that so beautifully, and it is so hard. I mean, I don't know how many people watching my film, have gone through this kind of loss. This is a like a multi-layered loss, because at times too, the other two grandchildren, like Sam, didn't have them at your house. Like, they went away for a while too, and then
Right.
she came back and gave you custody.
That was.
Yeah.
I felt like those babies had passed away on me too. I did. I did.
It's so difficult, and
It was.
you're such a strong person to be
Thank
able
you.
to like express
you.
all this too.
Thank
And
you.
this is what healing's all about, And yeah, and to be able to, I want to say, reunite, or yeah, Charlotte is right here in the picture here with this stick. But it's just really important through all kinds of loss that you've experienced in your life, that now we're together. Now we're together. And part of it, I think, was the COVID shutdown. We started to Zoom together, especially holidays.
Well, you know what it was also? I didn't think I was strong enough.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't strong enough to make that bond. I really wasn't strong enough, but that's there. Now we're
Yes.
here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's just magical. So we are here because you and Joseph packed up a big truck and made this wonderful trip. I think it was at least 14 hours, wasn't dry, a long time.
14
And they have their little dog with them, much smaller than Charlotte.
Way
Oscar is adorable.
and his two siblings.
And the two siblings are here. So Jojo and Amina, Eric got to meet his two full birth siblings. I mean, it's like looking in the mirror.
It is.
Looking in the mirror. It's just, I've taken so many pictures, and those of you who follow my Facebook page, you can follow all those pictures. I mean, it's just incredible. It's really like a dream come true for me, because I have always wanted, being a young black man in Vermont, like I feel like I know I can't help him in ways that he needs, with his identity. It's all about identity for all of us. We need to know our roots
Yes.
and our ancestors,
Yes.
and know that it's not always a pretty picture. I know I have that in my roots.
We all do.
Yes.
Yes, we all
And
do.
but being able to understand, your history. Your history is just incredible. I'm so happy. Eric, I've never seen Eric so present as he is this week. I mean, he absolutely loves both of you. And I will say, and we had a wonderful talk this morning too, because I've been thinking about the loss that Jojo and Amina have experienced. Like, they didn't really know they had a brother, right? For a while.
For a long time.
A long time.
I did not, because I listened to Mom, Samantha, I did not inform them until about 2015, after I got
Sure.
legal custody. But this experience right here, finally coming down,
Yeah.
meeting you again, and seeing him, the whole family, it's a phenomenal healing process.
It is so
I won't be
beautiful.
the same when I go back home, when I leave you guys.
I feel that way too. I feel like we have sealed a
Avoid.
connection,
A void has been
Yes.
has
Yes.
taken, because I dreamt of him so much.
I-
But you've always been faithful in keeping us abreast of his life with you.
Yeah.
And you've done a phenomenal
Oh.
job. I couldn't ask for anything better.
Well, and Jojo and Amina are so beautiful and wonderful, and
This is good.
it is good. It is good, and I think that their story is going to continue long after we're gone, Renee.
I can feel that. I asked Joseph, well, so what do you think? He gave me thumbs up and said,
Yeah.
all right, Mom, this
Yeah.
will go a long way.
And it will go a long way.
It will.
I can tell that, they both are very reflective young people. I mean, so Amina's 16?
She's 16 and he's 18.
18. So, Yeah, they're very mature.
Mhm.
And I mean, you've just done a dynamite job. I mean,
Thank
like,
you.
given everything they've had to experience, the transitions and losses that
Yes.
they've starting over, I mean, you have definitely, like, through your pain, you have supported those kids.
I have supported them too, but also not taking care of myself.
You know, so now that is,
That's in
you're
the past.
doing that now.
Not taking care of myself and still grieving the loss.
Yeah.
I feel sometimes I could have been a way
Mm.
much better parent for these two. So that's
I understand.
another thing that
Yeah.
guilt. I look at them
Yeah.
and I look at Eric
Yeah.
and I say to myself, okay, what did you miss?
Oh, well, it's okay to ask those questions, you know,
What did
but,
you miss?
and I ask those questions too at times, you know. I mean, Eric, with being the youngest of 5 children, it hasn't always been the easiest, I know. You know, there was always sibling rivalry or something happening, and,
5, yes, you had a
you
lot.
know, and I think, you know, sometimes his brothers and sisters would be jealous of him because, oh, you know, he's the youngest, and,
He's the baby.
you know,
He's the baby.
he's the baby. But yeah, no, so I really respect that. But I want to say that I just think that what I observe in you is such strength and such a
Thank you.
transformation is I think what you're talking about. And so just to, like, for everyone watching this, I mean, this is of course why I love doing the work I do with other women. I mean, Renee is family and my best friend now, and Charlotte is right in our face.
We love each other, don't
We can throw something, maybe she'll chase. Here you go.
That's not big enough, Mom.
I know, that's not big, that's just a twig. Anyway, I'm just so glad that I've had this experience this week, and I'm just going to miss you so much when you leave, but you're coming back.
We're coming back.
Yes.
But also, you helped me. I think I spoke with you probably about maybe 3 years, maybe 4 years. And I don't know exactly what you said. But once I had gotten off FaceTime with you,
Oh, I remember, yes.
it was just like alone.
You told me your story.
Had been, and I hadn't really told that story to anyone. And it's still not in detail with your guest here.
Yeah,
But
it's okay.
you relieved so much.
It's
from
so
me.
important, you know. I do. That's, I mean, so I have this Wise Women Warrior program that I talk about a lot. Very first thing when a woman comes in, they tell me their story, and often they write it because, I mean, you knew me and you were willing to speak it, but I believe that for strangers, you know, as you're getting to know me, they write their story. And it's also very powerful because I can read it over and over and then respond to it, and then we take it from there. But I am just in awe
Thank
of,
you.
of just how brave you are.
Thank you.
You know, like you didn't have to have this relationship with us. You know, like you could have buried it.
I
You
could
could have
have.
buried it.
And at one point, maybe I even did try to.
Yeah,
Not willingly.
yeah. But just to survive sometimes. And that's what I also hear from a lot of women is that when it gets buried so deeply, they're so afraid to dig it back out again, you know. But you have, and that I just feel like is such a big takeaway from all of this is that sometimes I think women get so like you use the word shame, so ashamed, confused.
Yes.
They don't know where to begin, you know, where to begin. But if you find the right person that will listen to you and reframe it for you, you know, I really believe like transformation happens. There's a lot of women that I've met that are not ready for that transformation because you really have to be vulnerable. You have to put yourself out there. It's going to feel really yucky. You're going to be scared and anxious. But when you do, and you get the right support, and the other thing I was telling Renee about the group the Wise Women Warriors, every 2 weeks, they meet as a group. This is all virtual because the women are all over the place. And, and, oh my golly, that is so powerful. Those women have formed such a union with each other. And then, even after they leave the program, when a crisis happens, maybe another loss in their life that they have to face, they come to the group, and it's the group that holds them and supports them. And that is my dream. That is what I want. I want that to just go on through infinity.
It most definitely will, but
Yes.
I must say that you've given me something else. When I leave here,
Yes.
I've never done it. I'm going to go home and write.
Oh, I'm so glad.
And you will be the first one.
Oh, I can't wait. Writing is so powerful. I'll give you some articles to read about, like writing your story, writing your narrative is a transformation in itself. Being able, because what you're doing too in writing is that you're taking it outside of your body. And that's the thing too with loss and trauma. You know, we hold it in our bodies and then we get sick. And you know, it could be illnesses that doctors can't figure out.
It manifests
Yeah.
through everything in your body, and it becomes medically sickness.
It does. It absolutely
Spiritually,
does.
everything.
Yeah.
Just so
Yeah. So it's very important. Like the writing, I also love painting, as you know. So ways that you just bring it forward, you know, and create and tap into a different place in your soul that, you know, not always in the head, you know, but in the heart.
The heart, the whole body.
So important. Oh, this is so lovely. I am so grateful that you were willing to be on the camera with me.
I am so grateful to you all, the whole family.
Oh, it's really been wonderful. I'm going to say this on video because this isn't going to be released until the end of the week, but it's Joseph's birthday today,
It
right?
is 65.
65. So we have a surprise dinner planned. It's going to be awesome.
Yes.
And it was all Eric's idea.
Yes.
It's
yes,
so great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are a wonderful family.
We are. We
And
are.
it's so powerful.
It's just going to keep getting stronger
It is.
and stronger.
Yes.
It is. It is. And there will never, ever be another gap.
No, there won't be.
I've told it, but I still have to explain it to Eric.
Yeah.
Joseph and I were talking the night before, and we were like,
Yes.
Good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He will receive it really well. I mean, that's the thing too that I have felt. And so Eric is adopted, and I have a daughter who's almost 22. Rachel's adopted, and she's also an open adoption. I know she needs her birth family, and I often call on them. Can you talk to Rachel?
yes, yes.
They're wonderful. They're so wonderful, and they're in Milwaukee. And I really believe that our children, like, you know, we don't own these children. You know, like we're lucky to experience them in our lives, and they each have their own journey to make, and it's kind of in their own trajectory. You know, it's not always linear. You know,
No.
it's pretty crooked at times, but to, you know, be there and support them. And I know that all through the years, I had pictures. I showed you. I have a picture of Joe. Oh my goodness, Charlotte is kicking up the dirt in our shoes right now. Anyway, I've always shown him pictures, of course, and he looks just like Joe.
He does.
And
Grandpa and his brother.
yeah, it's really important for him. And sometimes he would just be real quiet. It's like, you know, you don't need to show me this, Mom. But it's like, no, it'll come to you.
His siblings, Joseph and Mina, would do the same thing.
Yeah.
When I would show them pictures of their mother and father, it's like, I don't want to see that. Or Eric.
Yeah.
You know, so
It is true.
they would do the same thing, you know, but I think this is going to help them connect
yes.
a missing part
Oh, yeah.
within them, help us all heal, because they're so quiet. and they don't always communicate.
Yeah, but they're really processing. I think they're processing on a very deep level. And well, we will wrap up this video, but I am just so happy that you agreed to, and Charlotte agreed. And did she get your pants all wet
That's
here? I'm
okay.
sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
We're working.
Well, we're going to let Charlotte run now, and I'm going to close out this video, Charlotte.
Well,
So,
please.
thank you. Yes, oh my, it's so beautiful, and you're here in our forest, which is also very
My
healing.
sister.
Yes, yes. Oh.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to stop this camera. Thank you. Everybody have a great weekend wherever you are.
Thank you.